Hank is in the place with Sports Game Vision, back with another live. Wanted to jump back into this pod, this experience of YouTube. Hopefully, you can hear me clearly, and hopefully, you're having a great day. Again, was it Thursday? Great week. Hope you're having a great week so far. And then we got more basketball news, more sports news. Jump in again as you do come into the live. Please support the channel with likes and shares and subscribes and all that good stuff to support the channel. And we can talk a little bit of sports. Make sure you comment as well. We can get a little bit of Discord and the feedback in the Discord or in the comment section. And yeah, which as you can see by my title, if you haven't already seen it, it's about Kawhi Leonard, Team USA, Jaylen Brown, Team USA, USA basketball, men's basketball in particular today. I touched on it yesterday when it was noted or reported that Kawhi was going to be out of the Olympics. Decision we thought that he made on his own, and that ended up not being true, as it came out later on that day and further on today that Grant Hill, who has put together that team, and the people that I'm sure that he trusts had helped make that decision for Kawhi to not be on the roster. Um, Obviously, it's a lot going on. Like when we seen that roster get put together, him and Embiid and Anthony Davis stuck out the most, and of course probably like Steph and LeBron because of age and things of that nature, or KD as well. But those two or three in particular were like, okay, those guys have been injured a lot in the season, especially Kawhi. He's when he made that signing, he made the heist of the century of going to get Paul George out of OKC and holding the Lakers hostage for their roster spot and money. Um, it was like crazy. Everybody was excited to see what the Clippers were going to do when they signed him. They got Paul George, and the roster obviously the year before did pretty well without him. So with them there, everybody was excited to see what they were going to do, and especially going against those Lakers who had a sour taste in their mouth as Kawhi just rejected them and left them at the dance floor alone, um, and on a slow song. So, but yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be a big rivalry as far as going to Western Conference Finals and seeing each other. That never happened, and of course, the Lakers capitalized and got a championship, but Kawhi and the Clippers have not. And obviously, the decision was made that he couldn't make it, but couldn't be on the team. But it was really Grant and those coaching staff and members of the Team USA staff that said, "Hey, they he's probably not good enough to play, or he's not healthy enough. He doesn't feel like he's going to help this roster win an Olympic gold medal, which they're aiming for, or of course medal period, because they didn't medal in this world championship previous year, so they got to get the medal for me. But of course the gold is more important. Um, you know, he gets more time to heal for the Clippers. So with his coach being on the staff, Ty Lue, they all sat together and probably was like, yeah, it's time for him to go back. But who doesn't want to play for their home country? It's a big deal. Even Grant Hill said that, Kawhi gave it a go. And it was probably something that was initially spoke upon. Hey, come down, take the ops, take the pictures, try it out. Let's see if you can make it, but at least you get to go down there and be with the guys. It's a once of a lifetime thing, having your name put into history as being on our roster. Because no matter what, he was part of the team, even if he's not going to be participating in the championship games with the rest of these guys. Hi, what's going on? Appreciate you. Thank you for liking the content. Everybody coming in, thank you, thank you. Yeah, just touching on Team USA and them getting rid of Kawhi Leonard. That was kind of a shock to see. And of course, one of my favorite players of all time is Grant Hill, and his injury history really robbed him of. He got to the Hall of Fame, but it robbed him from being in those other conversations, because it would have been definitely some conversations he would have been in had he played a pretty much health-free career, a healthy career rather, and. But he understood like what Kawhi is going through when your body is telling you, your mind's telling you one thing, your body's telling you another, and you're trying to give it the best go you can, and you may not be able to do the things that you know you could do without those injuries. Um, and then of course, with being on this roster spot for the Olympics, you need the very best of the best, healthiest players you can have on a team, and he just couldn't give it a go. So yeah, it was a shock to see it. That they came out and said it was the Team USA decision. I think they should have maybe left it and just said, hey, it was Kawhi in the organization. I don't think USA probably should have said anything unless they had to. But yeah, it was still a shock that they came out and said that. But where does he go from here? I mean, he's got that $150 million contract he just signed. He lost Paul George to the 76ers, and it's going to be a lot on him. Of course, he got an older James Harden who can still play, but it's going to be a lot of onus on him. And Terrence Mann obviously can step into a position too, but you're paying Kawhi to be the star. And I was watching Jason Tatum today, and he's talking about all the talent that's in the league, and hearing across all the shows, really, they all talk about it. There's so many guys that could step into that number one, number two position if given the opportunity. But in this case, it's Kawhi's. His history, he's built it up. He's, again, one of those guys I call one of the most famous mob players in history. He built himself up to be where he's at. Of course, Jimmy Butler's probably even one of the greater ones. They've come from not being, Kawhi was recruited and looked after, but they didn't think he was going to be this as far as talent wise. Neither Jimmy Butler as well. So what are the Clippers going to do? What is Kawhi going to do? Are we going to get some type of shock where he maybe sits it out for the year or retires, or what's going to happen? Or maybe the Clippers move on from him with that contract. Maybe it's a valuable contract somewhere else where he plays an even lesser role to help another team. So I don't know. I guess for the Team USA, it just didn't work out. But with that being said, guys, we're going to keep on with Team USA and talk about um, the other person that you see on my graphic if you're looking on YouTube or wherever you're watching it. Jaylen Brown. It's another person that could have took over his spot in the Olympics, and it was denied to him. He's one of the best players in the world, one of the best players in America. Definitely, he's the Finals MVP, and for him to be kind of snubbed is very shocking. Grant Hill once again had to be doing his media duties, and he made a joke about um, he was once a Fila athlete, but he technically still is. His shoes are still in on. He was selling it just not too long ago. He's still with Fila, but when you jump into the Team USA, you get into branding, and Nike owns the rights to the jerseys and the shoes, and the team has to wear those things. And that's part of the reason why Jaylen's not on the team. Politics and business in the shoe game. He's also a shoe free agent, which is something that I was thinking about when I seen the report that Nike or had probably maybe had something to do with him being left off the team. And the first thing I thought about was he took a stand with Kyrie Irving. I don't know if you guys remember that when Kyrie Irving was going through the whole conspiracy theory, uh, um, racial, I mean, it's not racial, religious um, insensitivity or whatever you want to call it. Jaylen Brown stood with him, and he was like, what was he putting tape over the shoes? He was helping with Kawhi. Him and Kyrie are brothers. They are of the same faith as we talk about religion right now as well. But Nike probably got offended by he took Kyrie's side during that time, and also that he was a shoe free agent and wouldn't sign with them. And he's still a free agent. I didn't even know. I was looking it up. Like, is he signed with anyone yet? No, he's still a free agent in the shoe game, which shouldn't even be a big deal because it's not going to be a big deal for him to wear the shoe. But when you read a little further, um, Jaylen has been doing stuff like taking the swoosh over shoes. he was wearing the Kobe Bryant's shoes while I think even before they re-released them, and the wife got the settlement and all that stuff with Nike, but they weren't really producing the Kobe shoes. He was wearing them and taping. I mean, putting black tape on it and removing the Nike swoosh. Kind of taking a shot at Nike there. He's against some of the policies and the things they were doing to Kyrie Irving, taking his deal away, $11 million a year contract that he had with Nike annually, and of course, his shoe, Kyrie's shoe, was very popular. It was one of the very most popular shoes on Nike, besides the KD's or the newer shoes or whatever. And Kyrie's were very popular, but it seems like it's a brand fight for shoes. Gilbert Arenas talks about it all the time, how it's ruining basketball in a sense, and even on the lower levels when you're talking about the AAU circuit, college, and all that stuff. If you're not on Team Nike or Team Adidas or Team Reebok or New Balance or whatever the other shoes that are out there, Under Armour, you don't get invited to certain camps, and you might be better than most of the players that are on there, but you don't get to showcase them if you don't sign a certain shoe deals early on. So it's happening to the Olympics. It's a sad thing where you're not getting the absolute best players possible because of shoe contracts. But Jaylen Brown, I mean Derek White rather, who is the replacement for Kawhi, very suitable. He can definitely do the job. But of course, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and you had Drew Holiday on the team. Those are really like the top four players, really top three, four players. If you add Porzingis in there, and of course the two piece in Tatum and Brown. So it'd be interesting to have them on the team. His skill set would have been perfect. He plays good defense. Would have been a great addition to the squad. Not to say that Derek White is not good. He's very valuable to the Boston Celtics, but Jaylen Brown should definitely be on that team. Politics is crazy. And as we get more into media rights, more into shoe deals, more into brand deals, these type of situations are going to happen. It's not that it hasn't happened before. I remember the original Dream Team. Remember Michael Jordan would not wear the Reebok symbol. Reebok had the contract during the original Dream Team. He wore a flag, him and Scottie Pippen, over the symbol showing Reebok because they were a Nike family, Jordan brand, a Nike family. So these wars have been going on. They've gotten more intense over the years because the shoe game has gotten bigger. I remember I seen an article or something where they said they were expected to make 4 million something a year for Michael Jordan shoe brand, and then he's making like millions every so many hours. So yeah, I mean the shoe game and the apparel game is definitely very big, but it should not hold back talent. The best of the best talent should be able to play with and against each other, and players that don't have any affiliation. Remember Tracy McGrady, as great as he is and Hall of Famer he is, he was not on any college list or anything like that. He got into a camp and was able to perform, and then you got the Tracy McGrady that you got now. I even heard about D Wade, very similar. So these shoe things are ruining, hampering the game in a lot of ways. But I do still think Team USA is going to be very strong. They're going to need some more repetitions to clean up some more things. Obviously, some of these other countries have had more time to play with each other, but I do think that Team USA will bounce back and hopefully medal and then get the gold over there in Paris. But yeah, looking forward to watching more of those games, some more of the Summer League, watching the women's game as well. And, beyond that, it's just a shock today seeing that Kawhi was taken off the team, basically, and then Jaylen Brown was left off because of shoe deals. But, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the situation. Do you think it's fair, unfair? Uh, do you think Jaylen should be on the team? Do you think Kawhi should have stuck it out, or they should have made some type of um, legacy spot? Again, go back to the original Dream Team. Larry Bird was on that team hurt, and they kept him on there. Maybe they could have did that for Kawhi because it is a legacy position. Um, Very, very important roster spot to have and put on your resume. But obviously, they went in a different direction. But yeah, just that, guys. And then another thing, I talk about wrestling on here. One thing that was very interesting that I saw very recently is that there's a lot of free agency going on there as well. I watch a lot of WWE more than everything else because again, time restraints. But I pay attention to the other ones like AEW, New Japan, and all that stuff as well. As we can see that Natalia might be heading to AEW along with Ricochet, which is it does that's he's not shocking to me because they really haven't utilized him to his fullest potential in WWE. Neither have they done Natalia's. Natalia's just such a homegrown talent for WWE. She's been around. She's almost like Ziggler was for in a sense before he left, and he's over there as a champion in AAA. And where else he got a belt in? I think New Japan as well. Right now on the indie circuit, but Natalia definitely got something left in the tank. I think she'd have been perfect for a mid card championship. WWE is rolling it out slowly, but they're saying that they're coming now. Is pretty soon. The United States and the Intercontinental mid card championship should be in WWE. But hey, she can go over to AEW. Set a foundation there. Tony Khan probably has a lot of love for her, and Sasha Banks over there, Soraya's over there, quite a few other WWE talents that she can go over there and have fun with. Got Britt Baker over there still, and was it Tony Storm, who was actually in WWE as well at one point. So it'll just be interesting to see how this shakes out for her. But yeah, I think it'll be a good look if she win. And of course, Ricochet go over there and have some bangers of matches. He'll probably be able to float around to other organizations. But I do think eventually he will come back home, and she will too. I think she's going to eventually be some type of coach. She's already kind of a coach now, but she's not ready to retire from wrestling. So I think that if she doesn't resign, because there's a possibility she could resign, I think she'll eventually come back home to WWE. And Ricochet definitely, if his wife doesn't leave, his fiance, he definitely gonna come back. He's just gonna go ahead and get all his banger matches out the way, 5-star matches out the way, and get some titles, and then come back as a bigger star. So that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you got in the comment section. Just want to jump in. Might jump back in again later. Make sure as you come in, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We have more content on here. Go check out my other guys that I'm partners with. Seven Mitchell, Lakerland, BA, Get Your Bars Up, Cole, C6LD, and of course Lakerland, the channel. Subscribe there, and of course Sports Game Vision on everywhere. And we will be back. Holla at you soon. Peace.